That's bringing Gary from the Boston Globe, as he had the audacity to vote for Carmelo Anthony for the MVP. Imagine if you voted for LeBron, Gary. Your phone's not ringing at all today.
Yeah, it'd been a calm day, but instead it's different, a little bit different today. Not a normal Monday.
All right, explain the rationale of voting for Carmelo or not voting for LeBron.
It wasn't definitely on the matter of not voting for LeBron. LeBron is at the Michael Jordan status right now. He can win the MVP every year. Even if he didn't win it 2 years ago when Derrick Rose won it, he could have won it. There's an argument to vote LeBron James MVP every year. I just thought Carmelo Anthony, in terms of his team, what he did for his team, elevating the Knicks to the first division title in 19 years, a number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference when it's pretty apparent they don't have probably the second best team in the Eastern Conference. I just thought he deserved an award for that. I just thought he deserved kudos for that. I just thought he elevated his game. It's one of those years where in 93, obviously Barkley won it, 97, Karl Malone won it. Jordan could have easily won it those 2 years. LeBron obviously easily won the award this year. I didn't stop him from losing the award. I had no idea that I was going to be the only vote against or not for him. I voted him second. But I do think Carmelo Anthony just really elevated his game. I think everybody had been asking, when's that Carmelo going to come out and lead his team to the playoffs, lead his team to a solid record. They won 54 games with essentially a bunch of old guys in their team. Marcus Camby, Jason Kidd. They tried to roll Kurt Thomas out there, Rasheed Wallace, and they won 54 games and won the Atlantic Division. The Heat, I think they're a great team, but you take LeBron off that team, they're still a playoff team. I think LeBron is the best player in the game, but it's not the best player of the league award. It's the MVP, and I just felt Carmelo this season deserved that.
Well, if it's any comfort, Dan Le Batard of the Miami Herald said he thought that the Miami Heat, even without LeBron, would go to the NBA Finals with their talent on the roster.
That's an interesting conference. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I definitely think that they would be a 4th or 5th seed in the playoffs. I'd put them in comparison to the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, I do think that they're a pretty darn good team without him, with 2 All-Stars in Bosh and Wade, Ray Allen, Mario Chalmers, Udonis Haslem, Shane Battier. It's a solid ball club. The Knicks, you can't really say the same, and they did win 54 games. They won 12 in a row in March and April. Carmelo averaged 36 points a game in April. I mean, I just think those are MVP caliber numbers for this year.
It's amazing the reaction I've gotten when I said that you were going to come on, and people get the feeling that you did this for attention.
I think anybody who knows me, Dan, obviously we just met, so good to meet you, but knows that I'm definitely not an attention-grabbing guy, and I had no idea of the vote tabulation when I placed my vote. I voted in early April. I don't call other reporters around the league and ask them who they voted for. I mean, obviously, Kobe Bryant could have got a couple of votes. Chris Paul could have gotten some votes. Kevin Durant, I'm stunned. Durant did not get one MVP vote, given how well Oklahoma City played this year. So, no, this is hardly for the attention. I'm a little flattered. I'm shy, I'm a rather shy person in many times, so I'm overwhelmed by this. But I've got to defend myself, and I have, I felt like I had every reason to vote the way I did.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. It's open to interpretation. I don't want lemmings. I don't want everybody voting for the same guy, seeing the same thing. But if it was best player in the NBA, would your vote be different than most valuable?
Oh, of course. I mean, LeBron is the best player. He's the best player last year. He's going to be the best player next year. I mean, he's won 4 MVPs. He could easily win 7. But Jordan did not win the MVP award every year. I mean, Jordan could have won it in 91 when Magic won it. He could have won it in 93 and could have won it in 97. So there's 3 awards that he didn't win, in addition to the 6 he already had. So I do think, LeBron is on that level. Maybe I'm just elevating LeBron a little too high. Yes, he had an amazing season. They won 27 straight games, but then if you were to tell me that Miami would win 66 games before the season, I'd say, yeah, that's about right. If they won 75, then I'd say, you know what, hey, if they, but 66 and 16, I think that's what we expected out of the Heat. The number 1 seed, a great chance to return back to the finals and win it all, and that's a team thing. As LeBron James even said, it's not an individual thing. I think Carmelo Anthony carries the Knicks at most times.
Before I let you go, the bigger story that I'd like to talk to you about is the Celtics with what happens. You have the big 3, Doc Rivers' future, Paul Pierce, they amnesty him. Is Kevin Garnett done? Rondo coming back to build around him? Give us the lay of the land with the Celtics there, Gary.
Well, Dan, I think that it's going to be pretty much status quo for one more year. And not because I think the Celtics feel like they can win a championship with their current big three. I think they can compete for that championship with some new players around them. But contractually, there is no benefit to dump Paul Pierce salary cap-wise. I think Kevin Garnett showed he was probably one of the better players during that series with the Knicks. Why would you want him back for at least one more year? Rondo's coming back. Pierce is the big question, obviously. He didn't look good in the playoffs. We all know that. He had a pretty good regular season, but he was exposed by Iman Shumpert's defense. The question is whether that's an exception or the rule. I think the Celtics will give him the benefit of the doubt, and it's also no benefit for them to dump him, perhaps trade him, but now you've got to find a team that wants a $15 million player in the final year of his deal who's played the previous 15 years with another team. That's a difficult endeavor.
Good to visit with you, Gary. Keep fighting the good fight.
Dan, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Gary Washburn, Boston Globe. People piling on. Look, if you back it up, he put his name to it, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. Do I think that he's, trying to attract attention? No, I don't. I think he was genuinely shocked that he was the only guy who did not vote for LeBron James.